All right, we managed to click the button once more, board. Welcome to another design pattern live stream. And today we're going to talk about polymorphic choice, which is
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Quite powerful when it comes to how you can model your data in Crystallize. I think that's it, board. Let's just jump into it.
Thanks for the intro, Didrik. That was pretty good. This is really one of my favorite design patterns. It's so usable. And the context here is you might have products that have different structures. Let's say you're selling chairs and tables. They have different properties. And you might have very, very different types of products, but maybe you want to have not as many shapes as the type of products that you have. So this is an example, not an example, a diagram of the pattern. And basically polymorphic, as we all know, it comes from Greek. Poly means many, morph means forms. So it basically means products that can be of many different forms. And the pattern is pretty straightforward. We can take a look at, we'll take a couple of examples, but basically in Crystallize on a shape, which is the definition that creates the blueprint for what a product or an item, as we call it in Crystallize, consists of, which component and what the structure is. But with this pattern, you can have a changing type based on your selection. So basically, you can have a shape like this. This is a product where we have a polymorphic component here. It's a choice component, which we've called product type. And then you can create a product, a Bosch GSR, a power drill, and a 100 drill bit, 10 millimeter drill bit, basically. But they have very different properties. And this is where the choice comes in, right? Where you have chosen here, okay, I'm going to create a product, but I'm going to use the product type battery drill. Then you get the, in this case, the ETIM 1369 class of different properties. And same for the drill bit, same shape overall. So all other components are the same, you know, title, description, storytelling, related products, whatever structure you have for your products. But here we have different properties again for the drill bit, which is, you know, defining the tip, the connection type and things like this, whereas the battery drill is more what's the power, what's the max RPM, things like this. So that is in essence the pattern. And I'm thinking let's start with a super simple example, and this is the first one that we started talking about, because let's take something super simple. So here we have actually not a product, it's a story in Crystallize, where we might want to be able to have a hero media. So this is very typical in web, right, Didrik? So I mean, you know more about this than me, but
maybe the things that you see here is we've named it all. So like here we added a component to a choice, which is just an image. But in the media choice component that you see here, you can select one of the three. And the easiest to understand is that you have one, which is just an image for the story, or you can also add an image or a video, sorry. In addition, we also added some logic to it so that you can have a shoppable image, which in this context means that, okay, since the user, the editor, has selected shoppable image instead of just image, we show hotspots on that image as well. Yeah. So there's also some logic, but in general, the story is the same. It's just what kind of media are you supposed to render in the front end? What have you chosen?
And in this case, it's basically just the hero, what's being rendered on top. Is it an image, shoppable image, or a video? The rest is the same. So that's a hello world example there. Let's take a look at a shape. Because the definition of this, so it's a story. So this is a document shape. We'll get to products, of course, but it's a good example. Because you have title, intro, you have the story, featured, up next, and meta. And then in the component media, it's a choice component. So this is one of the structural components in Crystallize, where we essentially just have added, as you said, the 3 components, either an image, shoppable image, or a video. That's it. That's what defines the possible choices that the editorial user can basically make in the front end here, where I'm able to make one of the 3 choices, but only one. And now I'm going to choose the image and reuse that image. And that's fine. So that's kind of the first step in polymorphic choice.
And of course, it goes without saying that you need to at least define 2 components / pieces in a choice, because you need to make a choice.
It's not like some elections where you have one choice. And,
exactly.
That's a different topic, I guess. Let's take a look at a more real-world example in terms of products. Because let's say we have a store, Didrik, and we're selling both a drill, a power drill, Bosch, and we're selling a drill bit. Actually happens to be the exact same example as we have in the diagram here, where you want to have possibility to sell a Bosch drill, but also drill bit. Very different products. And if you look here at the product of the drill, we see that we have several components. We have storytelling, etc. We have some ETIM core, which is the definition of the type of product, manufacturer, certifications, country of origin, etc. And then we have several properties that are defining the weight, the battery capacity, idle RPM, included batteries, etc., etc. Right? So on a drill bit, obviously they don't have battery capacity, right? That wouldn't make sense. And of course, this would be possible to add in a rich text field as a bullet list. No problem, right? So you could just type out all of the properties and everything is fine, right?
I would say for rendering purposes, some might do it. But of course, what we always, and the reason why we're doing all these design patterns is you want the semantics when it comes down to, okay, what is 2 kilos? So you could create filters, even compare pages and stuff like this on it. Because let's say that you, in this example, you want a drill bit that doesn't have that has idle RPM of 750. If 750 was a part of just a bullet list, it basically means that you would have a free-form search, which can give you whatever. In this case, you can say, okay, I want all drill bits based on the type.
Or drills, not the bits, but
sorry, but the drill. I want all drills that has an idle RPM on 750 plus, in example. Yeah. So having semantics also enables you to have proper filtering for your customers on the store in the end.
And another example that you often use is comparison. You can compare different products of the same type, put it up in a diagram in the front end, and you can compare all of the properties. So to exemplify it further, let's look at the drill bit. Exciting product. And what we have here is same base information. And then we have the actual specifications of the drill bit, right? So it's for metal. It's got a tip geometry of 118 degrees, a standard point. It's got a hex shank, right? So that you can have different types of specifications for the properties of the drill bit. And now this is both to be exact in terms of, okay, this is exactly the property. You can do comparison, filtering, searching, faceting on these properties. But you can also add additional storytelling on this, right? So that as we've shown in the other design patterns, with being able to relate directly to another document that has further information, one of the classification bridge patterns, right? If we want to digress. But the point is, same as with the simple pattern with choosing a hero component. If I reset this choice here, I have here the possibility of defining this now as a bit set, for example. How many bits? 24. If you want to have a drill, a battery drill, you can have height, width, battery capacity, weight in kilo, etc. But what we want to do is here say this is actually a drill bit, and it's a 10 millimeter. Total length is I don't know. Working length is not that much, and then it's for metal. It's got the split point tip, and then shank type of
USDS, because that's mine.
USDS plus, yeah. So that's essentially what you want to achieve, right? And this got benefits both for me as an editorial user. I can set rules on what I have to fill in. You can have a user interface which is easy to use. Both there in Pretty, also in Nerdy in Crystallize, if you want to do a mass update on this. But also in the front end, right? Because it's one type of product. It's still a product type, which we have conveniently called product in this case, which is the same both for a drill and a drill bit, and also any other types of products that we would choose to add here. Now in the front end, what's the benefit then? You basically have one route, one component to render this, and then just that particular part, which is different in this case, which is the ETIM specifications, which is different for the different types of products. So it's much more efficient, easier to work within the front-end context and also in the editorial context. So that's the goal of this pattern. And finally, if you want to have a look at the shape here, we can see that we basically have this choice here with ETIM, which is basically defining standardized class of product properties. And here we basically dropped in just 3 pieces, which happen to be the 3 types of products that we're selling in this context here.
And of course, here you can add multiple more to the same. So if you also are introducing a new product, you can just do the same exercise, create a new piece with those components.
Yeah. So it's very extendable also, right?
Exactly. And
then the only thing you have to change in the front end is how to render those particular properties for that new type of product.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's the pattern. This is the first stream that we do of the polymorphic series. It's not a series because there's only 2. If you want to be notified about when we push the next live stream, what do you have to do, Didrik?
Then it's the same as always. I guess you need to like and subscribe.
Thanks.